It's officially the 9th of our free coding class. Like, it's been massive. If you have been with us this far, you're this close to becoming a web developer. Let's go. It says, if we want a style to apply to the entire page, we can use the body selector. We use the body selector if we want a style to apply to the entire page, no longer highlighting a text or highlighting the paragraph. We want it to appear in the whole in the whole entire page. All right, we use the body because the body determines the whole page. So here we just enter the body and then we mark it. That's correct. Continue. It says setting the background color to blue inside the body should set the background for the entire body. Here it means that if you set the background color if you set background color as blue and you did this thing inside the background color, right? If you set this background color inside the body tag, it is going to turn the whole background of your web page blue. So this is what I mean. If I come here, click color. Okay, color have been selected, so just click blue and then our semicolon. Can you see that the background of the whole web page is now what? Blue. Click on continue. Style like color white when set inside the body rule. The body rule will apply to all elements inside the body tag, which means if you put color white in your body rule, it is going to apply to all the body elements, which means normally the background color is blue. If you now put your styles as white, which means everything under the web page after the background is now blue, that even the text and everything under the web page is going to be color white. So if we come here, we'll now type color. And remember, we are using American English for this coding, all right? So your color should be COLOR, not LOUR. After that, you put your colon, then you type white, then your semicolon. After that, you mark it. Can you see that the text inside the style, which is this text, is what? White, while the background color of this web page is blue. You click on continue. Next one, you say we can style as many elements as we want, as long as we add a space between different rules. You can style as many elements as you want. You can style the body element, you can style the paragraph, you can style the H1 elements, anything you want to style, and give it any color that you want. So here we are going to style our H1 element, all right, and then we'll now put our opening curly tag, a curly bracket. So we call it brace here. So the next one, put font. We are adding another style. We just finished adding the color style. We now want to choose the font that the text is going to be in the web page. When someone comes, what kind of text should the person see in our web page? So we choose font family. The font family is Helvetica, and then we close our this thing. Can you see that the font has changed? The font has changed. You click on continue. And also using the body tag. Using the body tag is one of the easiest way to add overlapping rules on elements. Using the body tag is one of the easiest ways to add overlapping rules on elements. We'll learn about the other ways soon. So there are a whole lot of ways you use to add overlapping rules. You can use to overlap rules. That is, you are doing more than one thing in your coding dashboard, right? So using the body rule is the easiest way. There are still other ways that you are still going to learn. So if you come here, this is a full code, right? So there is nothing for you to do here, but you can take your time and study this code and understand what it's going to be like when you mark it. Can you see what it was? Let me go back and show you the code. Doc type HTML, then we open it. Head, the head is what? Style sheet ref, then style.css. We've talked about all these ones. Then you will now close your head and open your body tag. Your body tag is showing what? Venn diagram generator, which means your H1 tag is the H1. The title of this web page is Venn diagram generator. Then the paragraph in this web page is learn how to create your own personal Venn diagram. All right. Then they now added image. They added image to it. The width is 250. The SRS code. They now put the source of the image and all of those things. So, and they already gave the style sheet up here. So if you mark this. So if you mark this, it is going to bring you to this place. Can you see that this is the title H1 element? Sorry, this is the H1 element, and then this is the paragraph. And you see the font it's using because of the style sheet that we used. So you can look at this one and all of those things. So let's continue. Why do we want to style the body element? Why do we want to style the body element? The first one is to apply styles to all elements inside the body element. Second one is to make the web page interactive. The style element is to apply styles to all elements inside the body element. So you submit it, it's correct. So what's wrong with this code? What's wrong with this code? Looking at this code, we have the body, then the style, we have the font. They say the H1 selector is missing an opening curly brace. Okay, the H1 selector is missing an opening curly brace. Then the H1 selector has a wrong CSS property inside. The answer is the H1 selector is missing an opening curly brace. See, after the H1 here, there's supposed to be a curly brace before the style of the H1. So submit, it's correct. Continue. You say what happened when we change the background color of the H1 element? What happens if we change the color of the H1 element? This is blue, so the background, the H1, the background changes only for the H1 elements. B, the background changes for all elements on the web page. The answer is for H1 elements. Continue. How many rules can we add to our CSS file? As many as we want. All right, next one, set the background color of all elements on this web page to the value azure and the color of the heading to gray. So the color of the whole background is what? The value azure. So just come here, background color azure, then H1 element is what? Gray, is color gray. So just put it here. We did not select this color azure for the background because it said background color, not just color. Can you see that? Continue. It said add the H1 selector. Add the H1 selector. So looking here, we just come and type H1. All right, you mark it. Can you see that? Continue. Add the declaration font style italic to both the rule for H3 and the rule for paragraph. So they are asking you to apply the same thing for the H3 tag and for the H3 style and for paragraph. So you just come and put it here. To enter font style italic, that's what they say you should add, and the same thing for here, you mark it. Can you see that? Continue. Set the background color to the value black. Background color to black. So you come here, you tap background, then you put, after background you put a hyphen, then color, background color, you now put your colon, you type black, your semicolon, you mark it. Can you see it? Correct. Continue. They are calculating our progress. So we click on continue to finish our class for today. Continue. So I updated my profile yesterday. I hope you've updated your own profile. It should look something like this. Continue. We have one more key to use for our lesson, so we'll go take it. So here we have 4 lessons. We've just completed 2 out of the 4 lessons. Click here to continue. Continue learning. We are still on style sheet and basic selectors. There are 4 lessons. This is the 3rd lesson inside that same place. And I say if there are multiple elements of the same kind on a web page, selectors like H1, H2, or P change all these elements. If there are multiple elements of the same kind, there are lots of elements, but all of them are of the same kind. If it happens like this, selectors of H1, H2, or paragraph change all of these elements. So let's see how it changes it. Mark this. Can you see? We have not on time, magazine, or is in green. The other ones are in blue, and the other ones are in black. See the code here again. Not on time, H1. So this thing changes everything. So we continue. If we want to select one or more elements, we can set a class attribute for the exact element we want to change. If we want to select one or more elements, we can set a class attribute for the exact element we want to change. In the style sheet, we can set a new class rule with a dot. You can set a new class rule with a full stop. Look at it here, followed by the name of the class. Like here, you have dot gray, then a hyphen element, dot gray element. So if you come here, dot gray element, this is what they are explaining, that if you want to select one or more elements, you can select a class attribute for the exact element you want to change. I will just follow these things. The English is looking a bit confusing. You are going to understand it a lot more later. If you do not understand this one very well, come to the group and ask me a question, and then I'm going to break it down with examples. Okay, continue. Can you see that? See the effect there? We just edited this thing, and you see how it's showing here. All right, this is what we did. The gray element, dot gray element, and then it affected the background for floor, snap, and other things. Click on continue. They say the rule for the class will apply to all elements that have that class attribute in HTML file. Classes aren't unique, so we can set the same class for multiple elements. Classes are not unique, so you can set the same class for multiple elements. Like here, for example, with class equal to gray element. So if you come here, look at this place, you click on class equal to gray element. Class equal to gray element. So you can see this code right here, and you can see the CSS style gray element. So there is the index HTML code, and then you have the CSS style. See the style in here. So once you're done, you mark it is correct. Click continue. Now said to set a class as a selector in CSS. To set a class as a selector in CSS, add a period followed by the class name. In this class, it's period gray element. So period is the full stop dot. All right, the American this thing is period. So first we add our period, then gray element, we mark it. Can you see that? Continue. How do we apply a style to one or more but not all elements on a web page? Good. How do we apply a style to one or more but not everything on the webpage? We use the class selector. Can you see that? Continue. What's wrong with this code? Looking at this code, what is wrong? The property and value are missing. The selector is missing. The answer is the selector is missing. Can you see that? What forms a rule? What forms a rule? A selector and its properties form a CSS rule. The second one, only properties and values form CSS rule. The answer is a selector and its properties. Can you see that? Continue. What's wrong with this value? What's wrong with this value? Dot name, then you have color and all of them. So the color property does not have a value. The second one is the selector starts with a period. All right, the answer is the color property does not have a value. After this color, the color property, they are supposed to give us what kind of color is it supposed to be. So you click on submit. Can you see it's correct? Continue. Finish assembling this class selector. Finish assembling this class selector. So first we'll add our period, completed, then our opening brace and closing brace. Can you see that it's correct? Continue. Add a class attribute to the Lee element. Add a class attribute to the Lee element. To add a class attribute, you click on class equal to red element. All right, we are not using doc type here. Mark it. Can you see that it now changes? It selected a one or more and then change the color to red. Continue. They say pick the class selector to apply the rule to all elements with their class attribute set to tail element. Pick the class selector to apply the rule to all elements. So if you're applying to all elements and they've given you the class attribute you should use, just click on this dot tail element because you want to apply it to all elements. Mark it. Can you see that it applied to everything on the web page? Click continue. Code dot name to select the element with the class name. Dot name to select the element with the class name. So sorry, period name. So let's be using that American distinct because that's what they're using here. Period name. So just click on this name and we mark it. Can you see that it only selected the name? My name is Jimmy. It left the other one of I love playing water polo. Can you see that? So continue. So code the selector to select the H1 element using its class name. Code the selector to select the H1 element using its class name. So you just come here and type H1 because you want it to select the H1 element only. So you mark it. So just come here, you put the dot title. The dot title because the H1 element is for title here because it's usually the highest should I say the highest? How do I put this? I forgot it. It's usually the highest for the highest font for the distance, so you use it for the heading. Thank you. So can you see that I selected that Ed's rubber duck because that's the title for here, and then it left the body. We use the titles to select it. The H1 element is talking about the title. So you entered. So you click on continue. We are calculating our progress And that's the wrap. That's a wrap for today's video. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you drop me a comment, like something like thank you. Okay, they say looks like I am offline. Let me just think my network is bad, but my lesson is completed. All right, I can just go back to redo the whole thing, but I don't want to take you through those stress right now. So thank you so much for watching. That's everything for today.